Okay, y'all. Welcome back to weekly random rankings. This one, this one's gonna be a fun one. We got every legendary. Now, I didn't want to make my own, so I kind of went to whatever the crap this is. So there might be some that aren't even legendary. Like I see Paradox Pokemon down here. I see Ultra Beasts. I think Ultra Beasts are legendaries though. Yeah. Let me go change these rankings real quick. Okay, so I'm back. I changed the rankings. We got goated, pretty nice, could be better, bad, horrendous. So let's just get into it. Alright, first up we got Articuno, Galarian, and normal, Cantonian. I think Galarian Articuno, because I'm a Pokemon Go player, I'm gonna say pretty nice for Galarian Articuno. I think it's pretty cool. And then normal Articuno, it could be better because it's honestly, like, I don't know, it's relatively mid. I've not played through all of Sword and Shield, though, so I might be wrong about... I'm probably going to be wrong about a lot of these in this comment section. Could get a little mad. So, yeah, just advance warning. Next up, we got Zapdos. Both Zapdoses. Galarian Zapdos, I really like, because... Well, maybe. Galarian Zapdos is pretty cool. He's like a roadrunner. He's a bird, but he's not a flying bird. I think it's pretty cool. And then normal Zapdos. I really like normal Zapdos, but I don't like him as much as Galarian Zapdos. And Galarian Moltres, I mean... Well, what are we doing here? He looks cool. But if y'all watch episode 10 of Grinding Zygarde... No, that's not the reason. But if y'all go watch episode 10 of Grinding Zygarde Cells, you'll know why I'm a little mad about that one. I mean... It's just not much. It was featured in the anime. And I think that's what made it worse. Because I didn't like it in the anime. And then normal Moltres, it goes right there with it, man. Normal Moltres is just... there. I got shiny Moltres on Pokemon Go, and shiny looks like a burnt chicken. That's all I gotta say about it. Mewtwo's goated, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Mewtwo's goated. He's probably a villain. I've not watched Mewtwo Strikes Back. That's what I'm gonna watch pretty soon. But then we got Raikou. I think the legendary beasts overall are all pretty cool, but the issue is they all died in a fire. So they were clumsy enough to die in a fire and had to get revived by Ho-Oh. So I'm going to say all of these guys are pretty nice, but definitely below the birds. And then Lugia is the absolute GOAT. We all love Lugia. I mean, it's Lugia, for crying out loud. Better than Mewtwo, in my opinion. And then Ho-Oh. I mean, Ho-Oh's pretty cool. He was the first legendary that ever appeared in the anime. He appeared in Gen 1, even though he was a Gen 2 Pokemon. I'm gonna say Ho-Oh is the top of pretty nice. I think that's pretty good. Then Regice, Regirock, and Registeel. All three of these Regis, they could be better. They were created by Regigigas. And they were kind of weak. Like, sure, they were with Regigigas, and they were there to fight off the world and stuff like that, but... You know, matter of fact, Regigigas, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab from over here and say he's pretty nice. Not above Ho-Oh, though. I think what would have made Regigigas absolutely goated if they got rid of Slow Start, but I do understand why they can't really do that. And Latios and Latias... Wait, no, that's Latios. Latios is the blue one, Latias is the red one, I think. I mean, one's female, one's male, I think. I'm gonna say... I like Latios a little better. We're gonna chuck this guy. I'm gonna say could be better because... I mean, I've not watched the anime, so I might just be totally wrong. But based on my experience from what I've seen from those two guys... They could be better. Groudon and Kyogre. These two are absolute boneheads. that just fight all the time, and they become primal and wreck the world. Yeah, I don't. I see where they were going, but at the same time, I don't see where they were going. They're villains, I feel like. Then Rayquaza is also a goat. Pretty goated. I think more goated than Mewtwo. And then we got Yixi, Mesprit, and Azelf. These three, I don't know much about, to be honest. I know that they're region exclusive. I was looking at Reshiram, it has something weird on it. I know the region exclusive on Pokemon Go, and that's all I really know. I'm gonna say I've seen Pokemon lore and stuff like that. I know they do stuff with Dialga. I'm gonna say Taba could be better for now. Nope, down here. I'm just gonna put them in Dex order because they're all pretty much the same there. And it takes 3 of them to calm down Dialga, I think. Then Dialga's like God, isn't he? Dialga and Palkia are both gods, so I think space and time is what it is. So they're both going in goated. Heatran, I always thought Heatran was a mythical, and he's pretty underwhelming, to be honest. I'm gonna chuck this guy in bad. I mean, what? What's he there for? I know he does have the power to end a region, but what's he there for? Huh? Chilling inside a volcano? Giratina going right up there. I think Giratina is cooler than Dialga and Palkia and Mewtwo. Not Rayquaza, though. Giratina. And with Origin Giratina, which this has variants on it, so I bet Origin Giratina is somewhere in here. Can't find it. I don't know if I'll do all of this today. I think I'll do 2 parts, and then one will get uploaded next week. Well, let's just keep going. Cresselia. Now, if you ask me, Cresselia is nowhere near Darkrai's level, I feel like. Cresselia got overshadowed by Darkrai. For that reason, I'm not going to give it any grace. It's going to go at the very bottom of could be better. Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion. I mean, they're... What are they? Didn't they, like, adopt Keldeo or something? I don't know how that works. Oh, there's Giratina right there. Anyway, I'm gonna say, based on my experience, I know all of these, I think. Maybe. I know all these. I think these guys are gonna go... They're pretty bad. I'm gonna get a lot of hate and a lot of stuff for this. I don't care. But they'll go above Moltres and Heatran for sure. And then Thundurus, Tornadus, and Landorus. Or you Thundurus. This guy's Tornadus, this guy's Thundurus, this guy's Landorus. And then Enamorus is somewhere. Where's Enamorus at? Enamorus is chilling down here. So, I think these are their Therian forms. I know they have 2 different forms, Incarnate and Therian. I think these are the Therian. Now, Tornadus and Thundurus always fight. They just keep fighting. So, I feel like these guys have to go in bad. And they're better than Moltres, but not better than this trio. But then Landorus is the one who always stops them. Landorus is kind of like the Rayquaza between Kyogre and Groudon. So, I think, you know what? Landorus gets to chill up here with Regigigas and those guys, because he's pretty cool. Alright, next up, we got Reshiram and Zekrom and Kyurem. I don't know what this is on Reshiram. It's something. But I also don't care. Reshiram is... Why am I throwing... I'm going to put him in Horrendous for a second. Because I need to figure out what's on him. I just realized Reshiram is a flame tail, and I never realized that. So that's quite interesting. Reshiram, he's actually pretty cool. He fuses with Kyurem to make White Kyurem, and he's pretty cool. I'm gonna say pretty nice. He's pretty nice. We'll put him right next to Thundurus. No, that's Landorus. I'm mixing it up. And Zekrom's gonna go right there with him. They go hand in hand. Kyurem, goated. I will throw him in the bottom of goated, but Kyurem is absolutely goated. Because he turns into white and black Kyurem and just objectively more goated than Reshiram and Zekrom. I know a lot of my opinions are probably false to anybody else, but just let me live my life. And then Xerneas, Yveltal, and 50% form Zygarde. The little dog at 100% forms down here. 50% form Zygarde. I'm recording this before GoFest. But hopefully... I'm recording this on Sunday. It's getting uploaded Wednesday. I may or may not have 50% form Zygarde. But we'll see in Pokemon Go. But Xerneas and Yveltal. These guys, from what I know, they're pretty nice. I'm going to throw them in pretty nice. The question is where? Moving my mouse all over the place. I think below Articuno but above Raikou and the rest of those guys. And then same goes for Yveltal, but Yveltal's gonna go above Xerneas. Because I think Yveltal's a little cooler looking, if you ask me. Zygarde, from what I understand, Zygarde actually isn't a Pokemon, but a collection of Pokemon. So for that reason, he's really cool. Top pretty nice. And then I just grab the rest of his forms. Because all of Zygarde is good. 100% form is definitely the best, so. Next up, we got Type Null and Silvally. These guys go hand in hand, but from what I understand, Type Null is literally just Silvally on steroids and just has every type. Pretty unoriginal, if you ask me. I'm gonna put him in horrendous. I mean, really unoriginal. What are we thinking? Silvally at least looks cool, but he's nothing special. I mean, there's probably lore, but I don't know Pokemon lore. I'm going off what I know and the looks. So, for that reason, I'm going to throw him above Heatran in bad. And then all the Tapus. I love the Tapus. Alola is my favorite region. I've not even played Sun and Moon, but Alola is my favorite region because my favorite subcategory of Pokemon is Ultra Beasts. Alola is my favorite region, and the Tapus go hand in hand with Alola. Tapu Koko just looks the coolest. That's Tapu Bulu. Tapu Koko looks really cool. And I think Tapu Koko... They're like guardians of the islands, if I'm not mistaken. Tapu Koko is gonna go below Articuno, but above Yveltal and Xerneas. Tapu Bulu, on the other hand... Tapu Bulu was the first Bulu... first Tapu, not Bulu. What am I doing? The first Tapu that I got in Pokemon Go. And I think he's alright. He's literally a bull made of wood. So I'm going to put him above Groudon and Kyogre in pretty nice. Tapu Lele. I had a friend rate it with me on Pokemon Go. He called it a pink taco, and that was one of the funniest things that I've heard. So pink taco. Pink taco... I like the pink taco, but the pink taco is not cooler than Groudon and Kyogre. So he's going in pretty nice. And then Tapu Fini. Now Tapu Fini is where it starts to get mid-ish. So I'm going to put Tapu Fini at the top of could be better. Because, I mean, I don't know. I just don't like Tapu Fini as much. Then Cosmog, what the frig are we doing with Cosmog? What are we doing? Same with Cosmoem. Solgaleo and Lunala are legendaries. They don't need to evolve. There was no point for Cosmog and Cosmoem. There was really 0 point. And yet they still made it happen. Now, moving on. Solgaleo and Lunala are really cool in my opinion. You got Solgaleo, who's a literal line of light. Lunala, who is what I presume, a bat of darkness. Really, really cool designs. And I think if I'm gonna get Sun and Moon, I'm gonna get Sun. So, for that reason, I think Solgaleo is better than Raikou and Entei and Suicune, but not better than Xerneas and Yveltal. Lunala, I think's alright. Lunala's gonna go under Tapu Fini and could be better. Necrozma, yes, I love Necrozma. You know, at first I thought Necrozma, I thought it was like the evolution that turned into Solgaleo and Lunala, and that's why I didn't really like it that much. Then I learned it was the enemy, and I just like Necrozma. Necrozma looks really cool. He's insane in the anime. So that's why Necrozma's going goated. And then Zacian and Zamazenta in their Hero of Many Battles forms. In their crowned forms, they are really cool. In these forms, they're alright, which is why I'm going to throw them in could be better. Probably between Articuno and the Regis. So, both of them right there. Zacian is a little cooler than Zamazenta, if you ask me. Eternatus, wow. Eternatus. Biggest Pokemon ever, I think. If I'm not mistaken. The source of Dynamax. I think Eternatus is gonna go the bottom of goated. Because he's better than Zygarde, in my opinion. Now, I am a little new gen bias, because, of course, I played Gen 9 and I'm trying to play Gen 8, and that's all I've played, really. I tried to get into Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but it's kind of mid. I might go back and play some of it. But anyway. Kubfu, same thing as Cosmog. Just have Urshifu, Rapid Strike, and Single Strike. There's no need for Kubfu. They are legendaries, for crying out loud. And Urshifu, I don't really like Urshifu, man. Urshifu's pretty weird. Above Silvally, but not above Moltres. What are we doing? Like, I get the idea, but you need to make them look cooler. I think their G-Max forms do a little better, but I don't even like their G-Max forms that much. And I don't think their G-Max forms are on here. Which is pretty interesting. I see Eternamax. Eternatus, but I don't know. And then Regieleki. I love Regieleki. But where did I put him? He's hitting pretty nice. He's pretty nice. Regieleki is gonna go between. Actually, no, that's way too low for him. Between Regigigas and Landorus. Regidrago, the exact same thing, but better. I just love those two guys. And then Glacier and Spectreer. I'd not play the DLC, and I don't know anything about these guys. So I'm just gonna go off looks. Glacier looks relatively cool. I know Calyrex rides them, and they turn into Ice Rider and Shadow Rider. I don't. Okay, well, they're pretty tough to put, but from what I know, they're relatively mid because all they are is for Calyrex. They look cool, so I'm gonna put them at the top of bad. Calyrex, See, I don't know about Calyrex. Calyrex is right there in the dead zone because on one hand he rides horses and turns into like a mythical basically. On the other hand, on his own, he's a little guy. He's just a guy. That's all he is. I'm going to throw him at the bottom of could be better because I do think he on his own and can ride these two. It's pretty cool. And Enamorus in incarnate form. By the way, I'm going to get through to Terapagos, and then we're going to stop. Enamorus, gonna go... I think it just came too late. Didn't it come in ZA? Or not ZA, crap, what's the other one? Arceus? Legends of Arceus? I think it could be better. It's gonna be better than the Reggie. It's gonna be better than Articuno. It's gonna be right there. Wo-Chien, Chien-Pao, Ting-Lu, Chi-Yu. I think that's the order. So, Wo-Chien's the snail. Wo-Chien... You see, all of the Gen 9 legendaries are pretty bad, if you ask me. Except for one. I think we all know which one that is. Wo-Chien's literally just a snail. What are we doing? Going above Heatran, though. Chien-Pao is obviously the cool one. We love Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao's shiny is great, by the way. Chien-Pao is going to go at the... near the bottom of pretty nice. I'm gonna go above Groudon, though. So, that'll be... right there. Then Ting-Lu is a moose with a bowl on his head. That's how I look at him. His shiny's awful. So he's gonna go... he'll go above Urshifu's, but not above Moltres. Chi-Yu, on the other hand, is just a fish. A fish of fire. And he turns into Soulfire when he's shiny. That's a Minecraft reference. So for that reason, just because of his shiny, he's still bad. I don't like him. But he's not better than Virizion, but he's better than anything else below that. Koraidon, Miraidon, I see the hate. I see why the hate exists. I don't think they're that bad. I think they're pretty cool. They're literally just little bicycles. Yeah, sure they are. They're pretty cool and destructive bicycles. They only scale to each other, which is pretty cool as well. Because they only have the capabilities of destroying their region. So, Koraidon looks better than Miraidon. I played Violet. There's not a lot of difference, honestly. There's a couple game exclusives, but that's really it. Koraidon's better than Miraidon. I'm gonna say pretty nice. Just gonna go in the middle of pretty nice. Above that Articuno. And then Miraidon. Miraidon could be better. He's the future bike, but the past bike looks cooler. So he's gonna be below Tapu Fini. Okay, all of these guys. Awful legendaries. They got 4v1 by Ogerpon and lost. They're just awful. Like, Okidogi looks cooler than the rest of them. Munkidori is just a monkey with a poison chain. Fezandipiti, no. Like, I don't like any of those. Ogerpon, really nice. We love Ogerpon. I mean, he 1v4'd, which is Petron on here? I don't think Petron's on here, actually, which is pretty interesting. Might be wrong about that. I'm trying to look, but Petron's not on here. I think I'll just throw Petron on here in a minute. But I think Ogerpon, he's pretty nice. He's actually not better than Groudon Kyogre, but he's better than Tapu Lele at least. And then the last one for today's episode, Terrakion. That's not Terrakion. What am I saying? Terapagos. This is normal Terapagos, so I'm gonna actually just grab these and group them together. Because they're not that different. This Terapagos is the one shown in the anime a lot. I watched the anime, Horizons, Then I go back and I watch Indigo League, and I'm watching Orange Islands right now. That Horizons is probably the worst one. Actually, I don't know, because I've not watched all the animes. Terabagos could be better, but you know what? He's at least better than the Gen 8 legendaries without their crown forms. Then this version of Terabagos, its fighting form, is actually really cool. Whoa, holy voice crack. I think he's really cool because he gains the stellar typing. And, I mean, he's all about terastallizing, which is really cool. So I think Terabagos is gonna go above Eternatus and Goated. Because if you watch the anime, you'll know Terabagos does this weird crap in this place called Laqua. That's really powerful. Causes the destruction, does a lot of stuff. So Terabagos is really strong, really goated. And that is the end for this week's weekly random rankings. We're going to come back and do part 2 next week. We got a lot of fun ones coming up. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.